Hello. I don't know if you can hear it on this funny little machine that I showed some time ago in this video, but I'm listening to a comedy album here, George Carlin. Uh, One moment. Thought it would be better if I listen later than I've done this video. Yeah, I found a big pile of George Carlin albums some time ago. I was very surprised to find that because they are very rare to find here in Sweden because it wasn't that big as a and that famous and that popular, and comedy albums, American comedy albums, never sold that incredibly well here in Sweden for, well, obvious reasons. But the seller told me that the record had been, these records had been owned by the Swedish comedian Brasse Brännström that I talked about some time ago. And that's quite interesting from a historical point of view because he used to actually translate some of George Carlin's skits or Swedify them for some of the comedy shows he did with his partner Magnus Härenstam in the 1970s. So that's fun. Anyway, I wasn't going to talk about that. I've been making all these my absolute top 50 videos. I have now uploaded I think 30 of them. From number 50 to number 30, to number 20, I've got 19 more videos to upload. All of them are recorded, by the way, so I managed to finish the last 5 videos or 6 videos today. So I thought, why not stick in here with a video with some of the latest records that I've found, because I've been not just making these top 50 videos, I've been buying records as usual. So I thought I'm going to show you some of them, and I've been very fond of the singer Freda Payne lately because I've been looking for her albums. I found 2 more some time ago. First, it's this compilation album, and it's on Invictus, the best of Freda Payne. Sorry for the glare there. It's from 1972, so it contains a lot of early material from her, but I'm still looking for more of her Invictus albums. I only have her first one and this one. Then we have a later album. It's on ABC. It's from 1975. It's called Out of Pain Comes Love. Thus. I've been looking for albums with the late Brazilian singer Elias Regina. I haven't been that incredibly lucky, but I managed to find 2 nice compilation albums quite recently. This is what's it? Personalidade. It's a 1980s reissue from 1987, or a compilation rather, from 1987 on Philips. It has this digital remastering nonsense, but well, what can one do? Then we have this double LP on the Fontana label, Arte del Elias Regina, and it's from the mid-70s, I think. So it's while she was still active and alive. This is a record that I found for almost... Oops. This is a record that I found for almost nothing at the local flea market. I rarely find records there anymore, but this is quite nice. The Golden Gate Quartet, an old Columbia, English Columbia issue from 19... I think the issue is from the 1950s, but this pressing is from the 1960s. It has the typical 60s Columbia label. Lovely sleeve and great gospel music by the Golden Gate Quartet, including Swing Down Chariot, which is of course their most famous song, at least here in Sweden. Found this record for almost nothing. Bay City Rollers, Wouldn't You Like It? Well, alright, it's a good pop group. I wouldn't pay that much for it, but found it now fine condition, on issued on the Bell label. Right, today I went into the city to the southwest part of southern Sweden. I got a tip about a record store there called MJ Retro that I've never heard about before, because, well, most of all, I rarely walk that street, Hornsgatan, where you can find it. But I was told about it, so I decided to go and have a look, and I found it, and it was a very nice record store. They sold lots of different stuff, but had good sense for quality records, you could tell that. So I did find a nice little pile there. We have this very nice sleeve art. It's called Sitar Beat, Indian Style Heavy Funk Volume 2. It's a probably not very official release with different Indian funk music. I haven't listened to it yet, but I will soon. I just bought it because it looked very interesting. You know, I'm an explorer. I'm always interested in music from around the world. I'm not very familiar with Indian music apart from Ravi Shankar. So, yeah. Then I found The Great Society with Grace Slick. Conspicuous only in its absence. Recorded at the Matrix San Francisco. This is a CBS issue. It's on the CBS Embassy label. It's a reissue from 1980. But never mind. So I think the record was originally issued in 1966. But another interesting reissue. I have to tell you. Why did the cam go all blur on me? Oh, there I am. I haven't bought any Fleetwood Mac albums before, although I've heard many of their tunes and I like a lot of their material. I heard it on different compilation albums. For instance, the early material that they issued on Blue Horizon. I think it's their first album. And I think it was originally issued on Blue Horizon because that was connected to Columbia CBS somehow. This is a reissue. Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac. It's a music on vinyl issue and it has the Columbia, an orange Columbia label, but probably much cheaper than finding the original one. So, right, over to a record that's definitely not a reissue, and it's very. I doubt that it will ever find a reissue on vinyl. Maybe it's available on CD, but I'm not sure because I don't know who owns the right, because the record company that this was issued on didn't last that long. It's the English group, pop group, 60s beat group, the DJs, that were very active in Sweden in the 1960s. This is their album Haze, and it's from 1967. And it's issued on the short-lived record label Hep House. I think that label was owned by the most popular pop group, or one of the most popular pop groups in the 60s, the Hep Stars. But they weren't that good at business, so they made, well, a great number of 45s and maybe a couple of LPs during a quite short while, 1966, 67 sometime, but I think the record label was soon gone, so it's very rare to find these. And it was decent price and not perfect condition, but perfectly playable, so very happy to find this. Then this I bought just on a whim because I didn't know that much about it. Sideshow, but it's some sort of American psychedelic rock from 1970. It's on Atlantic. It has a white promo label, so that's a bit fun. Yes, those were the ones that I bought today. I'm going to show you 3 more records that I bought fairly recently. The Swedish prog group Kaipa has issued a new record, and this is a double LP issue, 180 gram double LP. It's called Sattyg, and I like the Kaipa of the 1970s, and I think this is quite good as well. I have to say that. I don't have to say it, but I think so. And yeah, another reissue of a great jazz album. I haven't bought much jazz lately. I'm not in a jazz mood these days. But this is a classic, Quincy Jones, big band bossa nova with a very famous soul bossa nova that was played all the time on the radio when I was a kid. So from the early 60s, but this is a reissue from 2013. I had this on a CD some years ago. It was one of the first CDs I bought in Stockholm shortly before I moved here. I was here on a visit before I decided to move here. Then I bought this on CD. I remember that now. But now it's time for the vinyl version. Right, and yeah, finally, this is another one that I found at the flea market. The Best of the Monkees. It's a 1970s issue on the Carousel label. Yeah, we got Last Train to Clarksville, Daydream Believer, I'm a Believer, stuff like that. Pleasant pop. Not fantastic, but pleasant. Right, so. Alright, I've been talking for 12 minutes. That's enough. So, thanks for your interest and hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.